What's up, everybody? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Excited to be here and looking forward to this part two. Uh, we have a lot to cover. And if you happen to notice, to watch part one, it was really, really interesting. Okay. Now, uh, the way we're going to do this, we are going to start by delivering a small intro so that we know exactly what is it that we are trying to do. Once we understand the context and the background of what is it that we are trying to do, then we're going to move into doing a demo so that you can see for yourself. It's going to be live. We're going to plug a prompt and we are going to get a immediate uh, text post that we can use to go to serve our audience. Sounds good? Okay. The premise of what we are trying to do is this: timing your message is more important than writing it. This is, in general, can sit at the very top of what is it that it's important to understand. And what this means is simply means that our customers, our future customers, or our prospects or audience, whatever you call it, happens to be sitting inside our audience and sitting in different phases of their buying journey. Some are very advanced. They only need a small pitch so that they can get in the hole like golf. You just push one small pitch and they are there. That's it. So they don't need that much. Some they are very far. They are like 2 3 miles away or maybe more, and you for them to be able to move throughout that journey, those miles, to get to a point where they need just that small pitch to be in the hall, you need to set them up, not in a bad way, of course, in a good way. And in order to set them up, you need to understand exactly the customer journey map, and you need to understand the awareness spectrum. So what is the awareness spectrum? The awareness spectrum is something came that Eugene Schwartz comes with in the 1920s, and he comes out with this uh, imaginary journey that represents the different phases, the most core different phases of every single person that want to buy something. They have to go through it. And it's basically, and this is important because it's going to allow us to understand why we do what we do with the content that we are going to deliver. So the it's basically three five phases. Every single phase represents a very core area of what your customer can be. So the very first phase is somebody who is, I'm sorry. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know where this comes from. Sorry. So the very first phase is somebody who happens to be unaware. And a person who's completely unaware doesn't know the problem exists yet. So this is somebody that we are just putting in a, we have just researched and we just said to ourselves, okay, I gave an example of Marcus, so I'm going to stick to it. So that just so you get a good idea of what is it that we are trying to do. I said to, okay, my dream customer, I'm a life insurance agent or I'm a financial advisor. My dream customer is he's a person named Marcus. Marcus, he's 32 years old. He's been jumping from one job to another for the last 10 years, right after graduating from college. He's been having some hectic life. This is the best job that he ever had since his graduation, and he feels happy. But he knows deep down, he knows he has 2 kids. He commutes to his work on a daily basis for 30 minutes. During that 30 minutes, he always listens to podcasts and he try to advance himself and give himself enough knowledge so that he knows what happened in the world. During those 30 minutes, he listens to different things, and he happens to be to have in the back of his mind, because he's been jumping from one job to another. He understands that having a life insurance on the side is something that won't hurt, and is actually something that should be there. but he never articulated that thought, and that thought is dormant somewhere in the back of his mind, and it needs somebody to kick that thought so that it becomes active. And this is where it starts. So at this point, we just researched, we created the avatar, we know who is our dream avatar, and we know he's living somewhere out there. Now, the second phase is problem aware. What I'm doing here, I am giving you the theory and I'm matching it with the practical aspect of this theory so that you can see the theory and you can see how it's going to match inside what we are doing. Second phase is the phase of problem aware. Now, Marcus knows something is off, hasn't named it yet, but he knows that there is something that needs to be addressed. So now at this point, Marcus is just ready for that information to materialize into something concrete that he can talk about, discuss, and act on. So the third phase is solution aware. Now it starts getting interesting because problem aware, he became aware that he needs a second life insurance to cover his family in case losing his job, in case something happens to him, whatever. Now the solution aware, he knows there is a possibility because before he didn't know, and it happened to me. I was working for the corporate as an inside sales rep for big pharmaceutical company, and I had the coverage with the company. I didn't know that I can buy private life insurance on the side just to make. The idea is, even if you know, having somebody to wake you up to the fact that there is this solution right there that you can go and use, it's very important. So now solution aware, he knows the solution exists, still evaluating his options, but still not acting. Still at this point, nobody is making any decisions or nobody is even talking about it. It's just in the air out there. Now on stage 4, he becomes product aware. Maybe he saw a sign, maybe he saw an ad, maybe a life insurance agent reached out to him and have, or maybe he just saw a post on LinkedIn and that post says, what if you lose your job tomorrow? What if something happens to you? Would you be covered? Or what if you lose your job and in the meantime you're not there anymore? What's gonna happen to your family? You see the scenario. At this point now, he's very product aware because that post will tell him exactly the steps, that's the possibilities that he can go into so that he can mediate that issue and make the right decision to help him make that decision. Now, the interesting thing about product aware is the fact this is the most critical phase in the whole journey, and it is critical because the prospects or the audience knows the product exists, knows the solution is there, but they are not acting on it because they need the second element so that they can act on it. For anybody to act on a product, on purchasing a product, they need two things. They need to know the product or the solution, and they need to know you. And they need to have that relationship established with you so that they can commit to buying from you. This won't happen unless you are present in their lives. And you can be present in their lives unless you did already the homework to identify who is your dream customer, build an audience based on that specific criteria, and then start marketing to them specifically. Now we have the clear picture. Now everything is clear, and now we can market. Does it make sense? Okay? Yes, I think it makes. So what did I forget inside all this intro? Okay, I didn't forget anything. So what I'm gonna do here is this is just the intro. I think introduction, this intro is very, very critical, because without it, you won't see where and why this is important. And by the way, whoever is watching, please make sure to keep watching until the end, because those 15 seconds or 30 seconds won't cut it, won't give you the right information. I forgot to mention that. I noticed that in my metrics, most people who watch my videos, they're watching it for the first 15 to 30 seconds. Please give it more time, because you will benefit from it. Okay, so now the idea, what we're trying to do now, we want to make sure that we are delivering content. And as I mentioned, content is the biggest tool out there that can help you generate that interest. Because how we can generate interest is by being giving people something that get their attention. That's how we can create the interest. And if there is no attention, there is no. So the idea is everything is engineered in a way to meet our customers exactly where they are. And the best way to do it is by using content. And you can use content by writing it. I used to do that. I still do some of it, but it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy. And now we have Asian Ignite, and Asian Ignite does exactly that. So I want to share with you how we are going to be able to deliver content on a daily basis without spending hours. Because if you can generate a piece of content in less than 3 minutes, in less than actually 2 minutes, and edit it for the next 5 minutes, and then you are done within 10 minutes, I think it's a huge win, huge win. So what we did in part one, what we did is that we tackled stage one and stage two, because I didn't want to keep you for a long time. What I did now, I'm going to go into stage three, stage four, and stage five. This way you can see for yourself how we are going to be able to generate content that happen to serve and to speak to that specific phase. And the way we do it, we start by phase 1, 2, 3, 4. Our content is complementary. And every week we start by 1 and we finish by 5. And the next week, if somebody new come to our audience or just join us or just find out that we exist, then he's starting all over again from phase 1 and moving all the way to phase 5. And every week, it's like a campaign mode. We are in a campaign mode. It's not like we do campaign just one time every month, once a month. No, we are campaigning on a daily basis. And this is the power of organic marketing. Okay, so let me run by you the prompt. Here is the prompt. I'm going to feed it to there is no need I read it to you, because I just gave the pain point to Claude and tell him to write for me the prompt, and it did. So now what we want to do, we want to make sure that we can get the result. So these are the result. Look, is thinking. It takes around 7 to 11 seconds. I watched it yesterday. And then it will deliver for you a post, a piece of content that exactly speak to the stage of people that happen to be in that stage. And for people who happen to just join us, that's fine. They will be able to see that, and by the beginning of the week, they will start all over again. But still, you see, here is the post is ready. So stage 3, belief shifting, research mode, writing directly. So allow me to read for you the post so that you can get an idea of how this looks, and just so you get a feel of it. Most people have 2 questions when they actually sit down and look at their employer coverage. The first is, how much is it? The second, which comes a bit later, is, what happens to this if I leave? It is a fair question. The answer is one most people are not prepared for. In most cases, the coverage simply ends, no transferred, not converted, automatically not yours to keep. It is a benefit tied to your employment status. The moment that status changes, whether you choose to leave or the company, whether you choose to leave or the company choose for you, the policy your family rely on or has been quietly counting on disappears along with it. Here's the thing: the average person changes jobs several times across their career. Every transition comes with window, a gap, a period where the coverage sitting in a benefit portal no longer applies, and the replacement hasn't kicked in yet. You see, employer's life insurance is not really your insurance. It is your employer's insurance extended to you as part of the arrangement. The day the arrangement ends, so does the policy. Most people only find this out at the exact moment they are least equipped to deal with it. And it's true. I experienced this at a personal level. If this is something you have been meaning to look into, it is probably worth doing it before you have to. So you can see this is becoming, if you notice, if you saw the part one and part two, or the phase one and phase two yesterday's presentation, we were just touching the surface and we were just playing with the ego and caressing people's ego and trying to be soft in the way we are presenting them our information. And right now in stage three, we are getting more serious. We are speaking about, we are becoming more specific about the situation that the person may come across and may end up living. So we are becoming serious the way we are approaching things. And this is exactly where things starts to become interesting, because Marcus at this point, if he reads this and he's been jumping from one job to another for the last 10 years, he knows what this is real. He knows this is something that can happen to him. So he's not gonna be, this will really stick in the back of his mind and will be there for some times. So I don't want to keep you too long. Let me plug the prompt number 4 so that you can get a feel of how this looks like. By the way, these are the post notes, so it tells you exactly what it is. So this is stage 4, and you can see this is the goal. I always try to give the goal, to show the goal to Agent Ignite, so he knows that this is what we are trying to reach. And then I am going to send it, and we are waiting for probably 7 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 11, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, it's coming. Once it starts counting here, it's approaching. So in less than 20 seconds, I believe we will have a post. So 20 seconds, not even a minute. That's exactly right. Less than 20 seconds. So stage 4, lead generation mode, writing directly. So allow me to read for you this so that you can get a feel of how this looks like exactly. Stage 4, lead generation mode, writing directly. If you are a corporate employee with a family, you know your employer coverage is not the full picture. Here is what the backup plan actually looks like. Not the product, not the fine print, just the shape of it. Step 1 is simpler than most people expect. You find out what your employer policy actually pays, not what you think it pays. The real number, usually 1 or 2 times your annual salary. Then you run one calculation. What does your family actually need to maintain their life without your income? Mortgage, bills, school, time for your spouse to find their footing. For most families, that number sits somewhere around 10 to 20 times annual income. Oh my God, this is becoming very specific. The gap between those two numbers is exactly what a personal policy is built to cover. And the third piece, you find coverage that is yours, not tied to your employer, not dependent on whether you keep that job next year. Something that travels with you regardless of what happened at the office. For a healthy person in their early 30s, This usually more affordable than people assume, and as far simpler to set up than it sounds. The reason most people never get to it, not the cost. I'm sorry. The reason most people never get to it is not the cost. It is that nobody walked them through it in plain language. If you want to understand what the gap looks like in your specific situation, comment plan below and I'll reach out to you directly. No pitch, just clear picture of what this looks like for you. So we are getting serious now. You see that we are getting serious now. And if you are Marcus, you are probably thinking to yourself, heck yes, I'm I need to find out. I need to find out exactly what this looks like. Okay? So I want to give you the last piece so that you can get a full taste of this whole thing and how it looks like. So this is the last piece. And the goal, where's the goal? Here's the goal. Oops, chops. And now we send, and we are waiting for another 20 seconds. It takes another 5-10 minutes to edit it and to take off the dashes and anything that you don't like. And within 10 minutes, you have a post that is ready to meet your customer, your prospects exactly where you want them to see. So it's an amazing thing. I truly I am amazed. And as I mentioned before, and I need to keep mentioning it, this is not just one feature or two. This has, look at this, in less than 20 seconds, before I even finish my sentence, is already giving us the last, the post number 5. And as I mentioned, this has not just 3 features. This has 29 features, and they are very, very powerful, very powerful. There's a lot of psychology. There's a lot of step-by-step form on how to conduct conversations on LinkedIn, on how to what to say. There's just so many things. I'm going to have to do a special live just for that. So let me read for you stage 5, direct offer mode, writing directly. This one is the for the person who already knows. You know your employer coverage is not enough on its own. You know what a personal policy looks like. You have been meaning to sort it out for months. Every week, something else takes priority. Deadline, school pickup, weekend that disappeared before you had a chance to think. And the thought gets pushed to the back of the list again. Here's the honest truth: there is no perfect time for this. There is only time when it's easy and time when it's not. Right now, for most people reading this, it's easy. You are healthy, you are employed, you are in the best position you will never be in, you will ever be in, to get this sorted quickly and affordably. A month from now, those things might still be true, or they may not. Here's what most people don't think about: the cost of waiting is not zero. Every month you put this off is another month your family goes without the protection you already decided they needed. Not because you don't care, because life keeps moving and this keeps getting pushed. That is not a character flaw. It's just what happened when good intentions meet a full calendar. But at some point, I will get to it eventually, has to become I'm getting to it this week. If that time is now, reply ready below or send me a direct message. No sales process, just straightforward conversations about what makes sense for your specific situation. That complete the full 5-stage awareness sequence. Want me to display all the 5 as scrollable card check for demo? Okay, I'm going to close the share. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to address you directly. What do you think? Do you like it? What's your question? What's your comment? What is, tell me, talk to me. So if you guys have any questions or concerns about if this is for you or not, or if this is the right time to go ahead and purchase it, I'm telling you, this can be better. There's nothing in the market out there that is tailored for life insurance and financial advisors. I took a lot of time to, and it's not by chance because I spent the last 7 years plus doing high ticket marketing. So I have the material. I took that material, I put it into a plugin, and I automate it. And now you have a full system that is ready for you to work with. So you need to get this, okay? Um, I want you to get it. If you're listening to this, I want you to get it because this will serve you a lot. This will solve all your problem of content, and you can deliver every single day content. By the way, it's a one-time payment of $100 and it's done for life. Okay, and you get with it a whole bunch of bonuses. Okay, so if you are interested, please comment below. I'll put all the information below in the comment and let me know. And I'll see you in the inside. Take care. Always Asian Ignite.